all I'm gonna do, unfortunately, two of our counselors can't make it, so I'm just gonna talk about the pickleball courts to let you know what will be asked. The CPA approved this unanimously. We made it clear that in the budget, the $15,000 must be spent regardless of the CPA funding,
Yes,
that the $80,000 would be secondary to that.
yes.
And
So if it
that's,
comes in under budget, it would be.
that's
under budget to
important,
the
and I
CPA.
think that's important to the CPA. That was one of the stipulations. Trying to find out where it is.
You ever get a check from Easthampton Savings Bank?
Oh, I have it right here.
And Easthampton Savings Bank ever come in?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got a lot of checks. He's
But I can't deposit them until after it's officially approved.
Itemization of all funding source, CPA funds requested additional funding sources. Okay. This is the application, it's not the
We
agreement.
want the agreement, the last line in the agreement.
Yeah, I just didn't copy it. CPA funds are to be used only after the 15,000. Also, the other thing to say, I don't think you need Berkshire Design there, but he did say at the CPA meeting that this is a high-end estimate. Because some people
Bill,
were saying that it
yeah.
was cheaper in other communities, and we're building only 2 courts. So, that's something that they said, but what do you think? Do you think it'll cost the same?
We have to go through prevailing wage, is how I will respond to that. This is a prevailing wage project, because it's using city.
But other city projects are prevailing wage.
We
like
are going
Agawam.
through prevailing wage on this project. It's just-
So you have to make sure you have
We have
enough
to
money.
make sure we have enough money as prevailing wage to make sure we adhere to prevailing wage rates.
Okay, cool.
I'm still cautiously optimistic, because I know some communities have mixed in, but some communities I've been told went with prevailing wage and still got significantly lower prices. Although then I hear anecdotally, oh yes, but someone probably paid for the fence, which may make a difference. But we'll just have to see. I mean, Bill was hoping that going out to bid in December would maybe make us more competitive, because contractors will be looking for stuff to do in the spring.
Yes,
And
yes.
so that may also help.
Okay, well,
Depends how busy, it really depends how busy contractors are. We just in the tree budget alone, the tree bid that just came back, the prices are up, and one person who bid really high said, well, I didn't want the work anyways, but if I got it, I would take it for this price.
Oh,
And that
okay.
was their-
Omar, we're just going over the budget. The budget for this is $95,000. They're required from the CPA committee to spend the $15,000 that comes in as secondary support before the CPA money can be sent. And that if the $80,000 obviously is a high estimate, they still have to spend that, and CPA will get the money back, or I don't know if it's reimbursed or not. And he was just talking about prevailing wage, which is something, the reason they had a high estimate is that is a big factor in estimates for these things. And the estimate came from we already spent $8,000 for the design.
design, right?
Yeah, so that's what we got back is an estimate of the conceptual design. We also talked at the meeting about the soccer people. This is right near the soccer, and you said to me in an email that they're all on board. There's this old soccer, what do you call it, wall? Kick wall that has to come down.
Falling apart.
It should come down anyway.
Yeah, it's a
So
hazard.
that's not a problem. The soccer people don't have a problem with this being there, even though
No,
there might be
yeah, I talked this back in-
competition for parking.
Now, we talked about this back in January, when I first met with the new soccer board. They were excited that we would take down the kick wall, so it wouldn't be any cost on them.
Yeah, there you go.
And yeah, I just said, just so you guys know, this is what we have a potential plan down there. They're like, it doesn't interfere with anything we got going on.
And maintenance, the Friends of Pickleball might do some of the maintenance, but the main thing is being able to cut the grass next to the fence, and you manage to have that designed properly for the.
Yeah. So it's
There's not a lot of maintenance on it. It's an asphalt. It's not like the
Exactly.
clay courts.
yeah. There's minimal maintenance required on it. So
Okay.
we're not concerned about a long-term maintenance issue
Mhm.
with this for our department.
Since Omar's here, I'll just tell you that one of the reasons the CPA liked us, it's non-traditional people that would use it, especially seniors. Pickleball is, as Joe will tell you, is very much, seniors do it a lot, and it's quite popular in Easthampton. They use the Tri-County School to play all the time. Agawam has one, so there's a large group of people here for CPA, a lot of them from Easthampton, so it is going to be well used.
I think, excuse me, I think it's great for the community. I came here because, you know, I sleep in my house, but I live at the park. You know, there's a bunch of events for the little kids all the time. And soon I'm gonna be one of those guys going there to watch the grandson. My grandson start playing T-ball. But at the end, they don't have anything to do. I think bringing this to the park, I think it's a good act to the
For adults.
For adults to use it.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
And the kids are gonna use it too. Camp Don's are gonna
Yes,
use
no,
it.
yes,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's taught in high school.
Yeah, it's taught at the high school. Miller
Yeah.
teaches at the high school.
Yeah.
Really?
yeah,
I
I just found out that today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah,
it's part of the curriculum at the high school.
Yeah, yeah.
Pickleball,
He told me
high school
about it.
kids,
He
so.
told me Miller teaches to play that.
Oh, I know he came once to one of our things.
Yeah.
Well, we do support a lot of the leagues, baseball, football, soccer, all these leagues, which are primarily for youth. It's nice to see something that is going to help adults get down in that park and play. I know the adults use the tennis courts, but they're not in the park. One of the reasons CPA funded the rail trail was because that's gonna be used by the whole community, not just, hey, one more.
I have a question. Is 2 courts,
Yes,
and how many people can play at the same time in, so 2 on 2? So
yeah.
could
no,
be
it
8
could be,
in
I thought
total?
they were doubles.
Yeah,
So
two and two.
it could be
Yeah,
8
people at a time
people play
could
at
play
one
potentially,
time.
yeah.
I mean, there is a very big risk that we should have more, but I mean, you just gotta start somewhere, and if it's as popular as we think, but like at Agawam where they have 4 or 6.
And do you play by time or?
Well, what they usually do, and I think this is maybe something the Friends of Easthampton Pickleball, whatever, form that, should come up with some etiquette rules, because when it's busy, a lot of times when they play in Agawam on Saturday morning, you play one game, and then everyone gets off, and you put your paddle in the fence. Some people have racks, some people will have all different ways to do it, and then you know, okay, those get off, these next 4 go on. But if it's as popular as it could be, especially during busy times, which a lot of sports have busy times, like in the morning and stuff, then probably have some kind of etiquette rules to follow, just so someone doesn't show up and play for 2 hours from 8 to 10 when there's 10 people waiting.
And that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Well, this will probably be more popular than tennis, but the tennis courts aren't, that's overwhelmed with people.
It's busy. I mean, we get our group all.
We don't have White Brook's tennis courts anymore.
No, just the 2 clays in the park. And they are used, we have 12 to 16 people religiously that are there in the mornings and, you know, playing.
It's good.
And there's,
Very
the
active.
thing too is, it's hard to say, but I know Williston's courts, they're not locked, so anyway, that's where I used to play.
Oh,
Always
yeah,
at
that's true,
Williston.
true.
Yeah.
Well, they let the community play, I hope.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of camps go in the summer, so it's harder to get in some.
So going back to the pickleball, so we don't expect to be so many cars there because the max people that can play at one time is 8.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm asking, because you know sometimes the parking there, the area. When
Yeah, but
someone's
we're gonna gravel.
Oh, an
Yeah,
area for that?
an area
Oh,
for
okay.
them separately.
You're gonna
So
add more
facing-
parking.
Yeah, so we're gonna add some more parking that just goes along
Perfect.
the tree line. You know, it's not gonna be
Okay.
asphalt, but it's just gonna be crushed gravel
Okay.
that, you know,
Yeah, because when
that people can designate, you can see
Yeah,
that this
because
is
when
more for
when
parking.
high school's playing.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, you know.
Youth are playing,
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
a-
parking.
Yeah, it's
Well, the
crazy.
soccer is in the back, it's not where the ball fields are,
Yeah, in the back.
right? But the
parking is
high school
really
play
big.
soccer there?
Yes.
Yeah, right where the pickleball is.
The varsity and the JV.
Well, we'll have to see how everybody's gonna work
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
If we add more courts, that'll even increase parking needs, so,
Yeah,
in
but
the
yeah.
future.
But no one
We
really
don't
parks
know.
in that area. They fill up that, then they go up the road and around the road and
Yeah.
down and
Yeah.
park where they. Trust me, people always find a place to park in the park. Whether they're supposed to be there or not, they always find a spot in the park.
Yes, always.
It doesn't, you know, and it does become, it's definitely, I would bet early on Saturday, Sunday mornings from 7 or 8 to 10, 11 is gonna be the busy time.
Does Northampton have pickleball or volleyball?
They have, no, as far as dedicated pickleball courts, where these are courts painted with nets for pickleball only. It's Agawam, Greenfield has
Greenfield's-
one that's in
Greenfield's
so-so
one, yeah.
condition.
Westfield
Just put in like 6 or 8
Yeah.
with lights. But, yeah, there aren't a lot of communities that have the dedicated reserve. I know it came.
So what I'm worried about is we're gonna get people that are advocates of this coming from other communities all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I mean, like people in
Once we
Northampton.
start getting IDs.
But I mean, but the good thing is it's easy to.
Do you have an ID? You're not from East Hampton? Get out of here.
Well, you get a parking pass, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you
Saturdays
don't
we're
check
gonna go in the
IDs.
park. No, but you don't, it's one fee anyway, so they come in the park on Saturdays.
Well, the other thing that I mentioned before, different meetings and like too, is that, with Yvonne, who is an excellent pickleball player, plays professionally, and she's what's called an ambassador. They assign people to be ambassadors of the sport, and so she's all into it, wanting to give free introductory lessons, teach people how to play. And
Is she
so,
from East Hampton?
She's from Florence, actually.
Okay.
But she's, so we're, not only do we have the facility in place, but we have the infrastructure to promote it and help it get popular. So.
Do we have any design with where's the parking gonna be and the pickle balls and everything, or we don't have that yet? Thank you.
Now, is that pre-existing parking right now, John?
Yeah, so that's just a pre-existing, I told Phil not to really worry about, because it's not going in the construction plans, we take care of the parking in-house.
Right.
So we're not gonna add any extra cost to this project if we can do something
Can
in-house.
Billy give you
Yeah,
a
it's only about
PDF of this in a small version?
You don't
and
need a
send it
really
to
tall
us?
one like that.
I can ask him, yeah. I'll ask him.
That'd be great. Well, obviously with the holiday, I'd have to get it Monday.
Right
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. He might even be a commercial.
Marshes is football.
Well, he's not around, so
The
I
thing
don't
is
want
also
this, I just
No.
want the plan. Just
It's
this page.
As far as it is.
But I'll have him send
It
them.
makes a lot of noise because it's a hard
But if he
paddle,
can
it's a
do it
hard
and
ball,
just
it's
scan
like-
it down to.
I think he has it, I'm sure he has it.
And so a lot of places
He
have
must, because it's, I think it's
residences, and I
included
can
in this
imagine-
And a
package.
picture, then a picture too, send it?
Yep, that's a picture.
All right, that'd be great.
I can do that. I can have, well, I can ask Phil to do that.
Well, why wouldn't he do that? You paid him $8,000. He
I
did
know,
it.
I mean, he can, but he's away.
No, on Monday, call him up and get it done, even if we get it to the counselors on Tuesday. Okay, so, next week, Joe,
Fourth, yes.
I move we accept the $80,000.
I,
Discussion.
oh, we have one more comment.
Public.
Is the friend of
Friends of
pickleball,
pickleball.
they're gonna have access to go to the bathroom there? Because usually those bathrooms
No, they'd
are
have
closed.
to, yeah, they'd have to
They
go
have to go to
to,
the other one?
yeah, the
Okay.
softball.
Why are
section
those
for it.
closed all the time?
Because those are soccer's responsibility, those bathrooms.
So if a soccer
So
game's
they-
on, they
Their
get.
soccer games on, they're all set,
So
yeah.
the people have to know that the closest one is gonna be like near the, softball. Right?
Yes.
Like there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'll make the motion, we accept the
Yeah, I'll
$80,000.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Two of our counselors, JP fell off the ladder, so he couldn't be here, and Bill is stuck driving back from Connecticut. He told me he might be late because his boss kept him, so.
Yeah, he told me that this week is gonna be busy.
So, it's all right.
So John, also, if you don't mind, if you could keep us in loop as far as contractors, because as playing the different locations, like Greenfield, whoever their contractor was, did something wrong with the nets, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
came in, and then they're also the paint they use for the lines, they get wet, they get slippery. So there are all these little things that I think about, and I could maybe give some insight once you pick a contract.
Yeah.
Well, does Bill have all these kinds of insights? He's gonna be
I mean, I
the
don't think we'd
one.
only pick up on it unless you play it and say, oh.
But I mean, does he have those kind of notes so that when he puts out the RFP, those are the kinds of things that should be in
No,
it?
I mean,
Yeah, he's done, because he's done tennis courts in the past, and
Mm-hmm.
similar, you wanna make sure you're using the same type of paints that you put on a tennis
Right.
court. That have a little more
Rip out.
grip on them,
Right.
same with like basketball courts, that you're not putting a slick surface down as a paint. And, But yeah, that's just a design thing, make that they.
How long, so when would you expect RFP to go out?
We'd probably do it right after the first of the year.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were gonna try and do it in December.
You can't, it's gonna take 3 weeks, it's gotta get published, and
Oh, okay.
so we're looking probably,
January sometime?
middle of January, maybe the third week of
It'll only
January.
take contractors a few weeks to put this thing, that's not a
Yeah.
big deal.
The holidays, they're not doing, thinking about much on it.
Yeah, you don't wanna send this out, the advertising period, when people aren't thinking, they got the holidays going on,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we'll probably wait till right after the first of the year when everybody's.
When the bills come in.
When people are ready to go and the holidays are over, now
Yeah.
and it's only, we could probably have only like a 3-week period for the turnover for the RFP from the time we send it out to.
And how does that work? Do you have contractors in mind that you send the RFP out to let them know about it, or is it strictly who happens to, like, how do you find out who? How do
It
people
goes in
find
it goes in the central registry.
Okay.
So we have to send, so
That's where
that's,
people look.
that's where people look. And then there's groups that are on that will grab it and send it out to contractors
Okay.
that pay them to look for stuff like this.
Oh, okay.
And they'll say, okay, this just opened up, and this just opened up. So they'll send out to, the painters who do painting surfaces like this. They'll send it out to, tennis
You
court
have to
people.
worry about contractors that are eligible like the school does.
No, but we would like a history. We ask for, so we can disqualify someone based, if this is the first time they've ever built a tennis court or a pickleball court and they come in really low,
Yeah.
we'll have the right to be like, we need to see, a history, some references, in the past, because you don't want to be taking someone who's a really low bid, who's their first time doing a job.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what legally you can do, because then they'll come back and say, we had the low bid, why didn't you give it to us, we'll
Yeah.
sue you. So
Yeah, no, you can, it's in the RFP that we can,
You have
You don't
the
have to take the lowest bid.
you don't have to think if they don't have,
credentials. you don't know.
credentials that are associated with building something. Now, if they are the low bid and they've done these projects and they have a good history, then there's, yeah.
Will you let the people who maintain the clay courts know? Do they construct courts too, or no?
No, but the ones who paint the basketball court would be.
Are there any local
project.
contractors that might do this?
Well, there's pavers, there's paving contractors that are local.
do
that
these
do this,
things?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna close the meeting.